Speaking of Goebbels, man, it's a Hitler summer here. We are.
By that you mean great.
I've been watching nothing but World War II docs because sometimes you're like, I've seen it, and then a new one comes out, which I also am. I'm just fascinated. Like, how many more docs can we do about Hitler? Like, you think it's covered, and they're like, no. There's a new 8-part series, but they're all fascinating.
I know. It's like, how many delicious flavors of ice cream can I have? There's a new one. The color footage of him is very crazy. Like, when you see footage of like behind the scenes Hitler, like when he was chatting with people and he was like doing his little friend, like the friendly, and smiling and laughing with locals. Like, oh God, it's the same guy.
Yeah, and it goes up to like the when the youth kids are joining. And he shakes his hand and he taps their face like this. And he's like, you're a good boy. And then he walks to the next one. And you're like, oh, he's like this affable guy that everyone, you're like, how come we don't see more of this? I'm tired of seeing.
The negative spin.
Yeah. The angry grimace.
I read an article about a guy. He was a Jewish guy he was one of Hitler's neighbors. And I think he wrote a book. And it was when Hitler first came to power. And this guy was a very small kid. He was one of the few people alive who'd had like a personal interaction with Hitler. But it was mostly just from seeing him as a neighbor. And then as the Third Reich got worse and worse, his father sent him away. And then his father luckily lived and met up with him. But as a kid, he said he would see Hitler around and you could just start to feel the tone change. And the family got out of there.
The shift kind of happened. Yeah, it's like when a comic starts selling tickets. Like, something's going on.
Not the same guy.
It's not the same guy. Oh, there it is. Hitler, my neighbor.
I mean, wow, he really is on the nose.
Right. Wow. You read this book?
No. Of course not. I read a brief summation of it.
Okay.
But I wanted to come off like I read it, but I literally just read like an article on the book.
Yeah, that's pretty fascinating. And especially to be like someone who was like, oh, you mean my neighbor?
Yeah.
Like the guy that, I used to see him go for a stroll. Get a coffee.
He'd wake me up with the fucking lawnmower. Yeah.
That's insane. But those docs are so fucking good, man.
They're
are so good. And you also realize, especially because we have wars going on right now, that there will never be the type of war, like, even if there were World War III tomorrow, it wouldn't look like those wars. Like with the way technology have evolved, this was like, the people were just like, I love my country and I'm just going to battle. And it was just, it was like, get the gun, hang out in this burned out building. I just feel like now, we have drones and, fighter jets. It's a completely different thing.
It's impersonal. Like, and like people would lie about their age just to go and fight. They love the country. And what they said that people miss when they see, especially like World War I documentaries, is they said the smell of shit on the battlefield. It smelled so much like human shit because people had to shit outdoors or in trenches, and they that's the thing that doesn't translate when you watch it. But it really stunk, and I think of that now whenever I see it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw this in this doc. This guy was I think he was a Brit. He was either British or American, and he was in the I didn't even some of these things remind you that like World War II extended into North Africa, which is something I think is lost on us a lot.
Yeah.
So there's this battle there. He gets captured. He's a POW. And he's like, we go on this like 1,000-mile drive in the back of trucks, standing because it's all just packed. Yeah. And people just stood in shit and pit they weren't going to stop for us. So we just stood there and shit.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Disgusting.
But you don't think of it when you watch it. You're like, wow, the trenches, look, people kind of glorify it. It's like, no, people were pissing and shitting in the corner. It's just, it's awful.
Vile and awful. Nothing worse.
What was that movie, 1916 or 1917?
17,
They said that, I don't know if they cut it all, but they said it was all one shot. I'm sure they cut.
Yeah.
But that was a great movie.
Incredible movie. Incredible. Yeah, because that first sequence follows that one actor.
Yeah.
For like 25 minutes without seemingly a cut.
Yeah.
Like he just,
There's a moment where he'll run behind something.
Yes.
That's like a black screen for a half second. You're like, okay, they could have cut there, maybe they can just do it now and make it look like they can't.
I think they can, yeah.
Bert and Tom and Bert. One goes topless while the other wears a shirt. Tom tells stories and Bert's the machine. There's not a chance in hell that they'll keep it clean. Here's what we call Two Bears, One Cave.